Ladies and gentlemen, I am Billy Graham, and I want you to enjoy your life and become who God created you to be. If you truly want a positive change in your life, don't just listen, take action. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel so you can receive more inspiring messages. I want to tell you something today that will strengthen your faith and ignite your spirit. There comes a time in every believer's life when they stand on the edge of a great blessing, but before the blessing comes, there are signs, there are tests. There are moments that will challenge your faith. When God blesses you, one of the clearest signs is the peace that surpasses all understanding. This peace is not dependent on circumstances, nor is it something that can be manufactured by human effort. It is a divine gift. An unshakable calm that remains even in the middle of life's storms. This kind of peace cannot be explained in earthly terms because it does not come from external stability or the absence of trouble. Instead, it comes from the presence of God Himself. Many people search for peace in material possessions, relationships, or achievements, but these things only offer temporary relief. Money can provide comfort, but it cannot quiet a restless heart. Relationships can bring companionship, but they cannot remove inner turmoil. Success may offer a sense of accomplishment, but it does not guarantee contentment. The peace that God gives is entirely different. It is not based on what we have or what we can control. It is rooted in trust and surrender to Him. This divine peace is evident in the lives of those who walk closely with God. In the Bible, we see countless examples of men and women who faced overwhelming trials yet remained steadfast. Daniel was thrown into the lion's den, but he did not panic because he trusted in God's power. Paul and Silas were beaten and imprisoned, yet they sang praises in the middle of the night because their peace was not tied to their circumstances. Jesus Himself, in the moments before His crucifixion, assured His disciples that His peace was different from what the world offers. He told them, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled and do not be afraid." This peace does not mean the absence of trouble, but rather the presence of assurance. Even when life is difficult, there is a quiet confidence that God is in control. It is the ability to remain calm when others are anxious, to have faith when others are restless. It is a peace that does not rely on perfect conditions, but on the perfect presence of God. Those who experience this peace can walk through adversity without being shaken, because they know that God's hand is upon them. The world often offers substitutes for peace, such as distractions, entertainment, or temporary escapes, but these things never truly satisfy. When difficulties return, so does anxiety, but God's peace is lasting. It is not an escape from reality, but a firm foundation that allows believers to face reality with courage. When a person surrenders their worries, fears, and uncertainties to God, they receive a peace that guards their hearts and minds. This is why those who trust in God can smile even in hardship, knowing that He is in control and that His plans are always good. His peace is a testimony to His presence, a sign of His blessing, and a gift that no trouble in this world can take away. When God blesses you, He opens doors that no one can shut. These doors are not just opportunities for success, but divine appointments that align with His plan for your life. When He sets something in motion, no human force, circumstance, or opposition can stand in the way. What God ordains will come to pass, and His favor will make a way where there seems to be no way. Throughout history, countless individuals have witnessed God's power in opening doors that seemed impossible to walk through. Joseph was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and thrown into prison. Yet none of these setbacks could stop the plan of God. At the right time, God opened a door for him to become the second most powerful man in Egypt. What others meant for harm, God turned into a blessing. This is a reminder that when God has a purpose for your life, no amount of betrayal, delay, or hardship can close the doors he has destined to open. When God opens a door, it does not require human approval. Many people strive for success by seeking validation from others, but when a door is opened by God, it is not dependent on connections, popularity, or influence. He does not need anyone's permission to bless you. Even when people try to block your progress, they cannot override the will of God. His favor can take you places that human effort cannot. He can position you in rooms you never thought you would enter and give you opportunities that others said were impossible. There will always be obstacles when walking through the doors that God opens, but challenges do not mean the door is closed. Sometimes God allows resistance to strengthen your faith and prepare you for what is ahead. The Israelites faced the Red Sea in front of them and Pharaoh's army behind them. But God had already opened the way. He parted the sea, making a path where there was none. What seemed like an impossible barrier was actually the gateway to their deliverance. God's open doors often require faith to walk through. Fear and doubt can cause people to hesitate, wondering if they are truly meant to step forward. But when God calls, he also equips. When he opens a door, he gives the courage and provision needed to walk through it. Many people miss out on blessings because they're afraid to take the step, but faith is the key to accessing what God has already prepared. Walking through divine doors means trusting him even when the path is unclear. No matter what season of life you are in, know that when God decides to open a door, no one can close it. It does not matter what the odds look like, what people say, or what obstacles stand in the way. When God declares something over your life, his word stands firm. His timing is perfect. And when the right door opens, it will lead to a place of purpose, growth, and blessing. When God blesses you, he gives you strength in the storm. Life is filled with trials, challenges, and unexpected difficulties, but those who trust in God find a source of strength that does not come from their own abilities. This strength is not just physical endurance or mental toughness. It is a deep spiritual resilience that enables a person to stand firm when everything around them is shaking. It is a power that does not waver in the face of adversity because it is rooted in faith, not circumstance. Many people try to rely on their own strength when facing difficulties, but human effort alone is not enough to sustain them through the storms of life. No amount of willpower can completely remove fear, anxiety, or sorrow when hardship strikes. But those who rely on God's strength find an unshakable foundation. This is the strength that sustained David when he faced Goliath, the strength that upheld Moses as he led the Israelites through the wilderness, and the strength that carried Jesus through the suffering of the cross. It is a divine empowerment that allows believers to endure, persevere, and overcome, even when the odds seem impossible. Storms in life can come in many forms: loss, betrayal, sickness, financial hardship, or uncertainty about the future. These trials can feel overwhelming, making it seem as though the waves of difficulty will never end. But those who are blessed by God do not walk through the storm alone. His presence becomes their refuge, and his power becomes their source of endurance. Instead of being crushed by the weight of trouble, they find new strength rising within them. They are able to keep moving forward, even when they do not understand the reason for their struggles. Even when the storm rages, those who trust in God find peace in knowing that he is in control. The wind may blow, the waves may rise, but they stand firm because their strength does not come from themselves. It comes from the one who holds all things together. When God blesses you, he provides in ways you never expected. His provision is not always predictable, nor does it always come in the way you imagined. Often he works behind the scenes, orchestrating circumstances, opening doors, and placing the right people in your life at the right time. His ways are higher than human understanding. And when he supplies a need, it is often in ways that go beyond human logic. Many times people expect God's provision to come from the most obvious sources, but he often works in ways that defy expectation. Sometimes the answer to a financial struggle comes through an unexpected opportunity or a job that was never even applied for. Sometimes help comes through a stranger who was moved to give at just the right moment. There are times when resources stretch far beyond what seems possible, and what should have run out lasts much longer than it logically should. God's provision is not just about meeting needs. It is a demonstration of his power and love. There are also times when God's provision is not about material needs, but about strength, wisdom, and guidance. Many people find themselves in situations where they do not know what to do or how to move forward. Yet God provides clarity and direction when it is needed most. He brings the right words, the right encouragement, and the right opportunities, often in ways that could not have been planned. His provision is not always about giving what is wanted, but about giving what is truly needed. Faith plays a crucial role in experiencing God's provision. Those who trust in him and seek his will often find that their needs are met in ways they never could have arranged on their own. Worry and fear can cause people to doubt whether God will come through, but time and time again, he proves that he is faithful. The key is to remain faithful even when the provision has not yet arrived. Looking back, many people can see how God has provided for them in ways they never expected. What seemed like a closed door led to something better. What appeared to be a setback was actually a setup for greater blessings. When God provides, it is always in perfect timing, and it always serves a greater purpose. His blessings are not limited by circumstances, and his ability to provide is limitless. When God blesses you, one of the greatest signs is a changed heart and a life filled with purpose. His blessings are not just about material things or external success. They go much deeper, transforming a person from the inside out. When someone truly encounters God, their desires, priorities, and way of thinking begin to shift. The things that once seemed impossible now becomes clear. With a changed heart comes a sense of purpose. Many people go through life feeling lost, unsure of why they are here or what they should be doing. But when God reveals his plan, life takes on new meaning. Instead of just existing, a person begins to live with intention, knowing that every step has a purpose. They wake up each day not just to survive, but to make a difference. The work they do, the relationships they build, and the decisions they make all begin to reflect a higher calling. A life that is blessed by God is not just one that is full of possessions, but one that is full of meaning. A changed heart leads to a purpose-filled life, and a purpose-filled life brings lasting joy and impact. Those who experience this blessing never want to go back to their old ways because they have tasted something greater, the joy of living in alignment with God's perfect plan.